Hello, my name's Faye Ashton Wright. My yoga training coaching practice is the Yoga Coach. Um, so I am offering a couple of new sessions, my studio timetables, some group training, live online group training in heart yoga. Um, and I just thought I'd share some reflections on the themes that kind of come up around that. So I guess there's two central themes. One is around compassion, which is karunya in yogic Sanskrit terms, and then loving kindness, which is metta or maitri, loving kindness practice as well. So compassion fatigue is something that's being increasingly um, discussed, considered, debated, shared in health and well-being circles, and the extent to which um, any of us might experience the fatigue of our compassion. And I think there are certain communities and people that are particularly prone to that. I would place myself within that category. The first kind of dimension of it, I guess, is our sort of inbuilt nature, our innate sort of neurophysicality, if you like. And I think for people who are more highly sensitive, but particularly more highly sensitive to um, emotional experience, emotional energy, if you like, um, be that within ourselves, but also within our environment. So the emotional energies of others. So those of us who are just naturally more tuned to those energies of moods and emotions. So often I see this kind of a little bit pathologized. So it's painted quite negatively if it's it's the givers, it's the people pleasers, it's the doormats, but just a naturally more empathic makeup. We're kind of, built that way or formed that way or grown that way, however we wish to look at it, nature, nurture, but of a more empathic and emotionally sensitive, emotionally attuned disposition, character. And then the other dimension to it is our our lifestyle, right? Our lived reality, our lived reality of how much of that kind of quality we are called upon or expected or even demanded to give. So how much of our kind of compassion and empathy, and I distinguish the two. There's a difference. So empathy is the kind of attunement, awareness of particularly somebody else's emotional reality or somebody else's experience, somebody else's reality. And then compassion is where there's that softening and that warmth around it. So it's a particular tone to that awareness. We can be empathic without necessarily being being so warm or being so kind of holding it sort of kindly. So the extent to which we are called to compassion, as I say, it's expected of us, it's required of us, it's demanded of us, or we feel internally that we must or we should, or just our lifestyle demands. So people with caring responsibilities, and particularly that's in our close circle, in our immediate household, our family. So it may be for young children, or for children of any age. It may be caring for somebody, somebody who is aging, somebody who has an illness or disability. So the extent to which we are called to give our care to others. And that can include ourselves, right? So if we ourselves are going through any significant experience, particularly of loss, of illness, of injury, medical conditions, obviously disability, and any significant experience of those, or indeed of kind of harm, where we're moving through a more harmful experience. So it's our life circumstances, our reality. So we have these two different dimensions of our innate neurophysiology, of how we might naturally, to at what extent we're sensitive or attuned to energetic and emotional sort of charge, vibration, reality, to what extent we're naturally kind of inclined to bring compassion, some warmth, some softness to that, kindness, we might say. And it's very much, it's a feature, be kind. And then also our reality of the extent to which we're, it's the pull, if you like, of life, of the extent to which we need to find it. And so we can have this kind of compassion, this notion of compassion fatigue, where perhaps the call to care and compassion outweighs our natural capacity, or we're kind of giving too much or in too many different directions, and that can include within the compassion that we need to find out within ourselves. And then this kind of culminates in this compassion fatigue. And there's general fatigue, physical fatigue, lethargy. So we can understand that obviously we can be too tired, we can get run down, we can with illness or whatever it might be, we can exhaust our physical energy. But with compassion fatigue, it's almost like we're exhausting our caring energy. We're burning out our capacity for care. And I think that's particularly found, or most profoundly found experience, or most commonly in those caring communities. So those groups of people where they are consistently called upon to offer care and kindness and warmth. So to be able to tune into other people's experience, and then to bring some kindness and warmth to that response. So that can produce this fatigue, and then it's a kind of consideration of how that impacts us, how it's felt, how it manifests, and how we might respond. So that's just, I guess, a little initial exploration, consideration. I invite you, I kind of invite or encourage you to reflect, possibly with a notebook and pen, or just if you're out walking or whatever, to whether that sort of holds true for you, whether that resonates for you, what if any direct experience you might have of this, this caring, this compassionate giving, your capacity for that, how you're sort of experiencing that, how that comes up for you, how that shows up for you, and the extent to which within your life you are called upon, whether it be within family circles, family and domestic circles, for yourself, your own reality, at work, in your work capacity, if you're working with friends, in friendship, and in community and connection. And if you are kind of experiencing any of that sort of fatigue sort of dimension, of where it's possibly getting a little out of balance, of the call is possibly sort of a little bit heavier than than the capacity that you might have. So I hope that's been helpful. And in the online sessions on the 14th of February, I'm going to be offering some practices to help with that exploration, that examination, consideration, and both are considering those different aspects and how we might respond. So that's the heart yoga sessions that I'll be offering Valentine's Day. So you can book those on my website, which is yogacoachuk.com. You can also check in, ask any questions and so on. Send me a message on there. But yeah, just thought I'd share these initial insights openly and freely so that they're accessible for everybody. So thank you all very much. Thank you for your time watching and listening, and I wish you well.